My name is Jonathan Gillum.
And this is The Experts. This is Jonathan Gillum, and this is The Experts on Facebook Live, Twitter, and YouTube. Running a little bit behind tonight, as always. Everything happens at 9 o'clock, but I got to be honest with you. I'm running a little bit late because I was at the dentist all day. Still didn't get it resolved, but I'll tell you about that in the warning order. I'm not a fan of the dentist, but I did meet a great dentist. I can't go into who he is here in New York City, but he's a conservative. Who would have thought? So that's great. Unfortunately, I got to go see an endo something else. I don't know what it is for a tooth, but you just never know when these things are going to happen. But that's what we're going to kind of get into a little bit. We're going to talk about with Michael Jack about he got to meet President Trump yesterday and talk about the reality of what was going on over there in Phoenix yesterday. And then we'll also discuss military readiness with Kitty Kelly and how much of an idiot Don Lemon and CNN and ESPN is. This is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get started. So, setting it up as we go. I have not tested this out yet. But what we're going to do is, at least with Kitty Kelly, potentially with Michael Jack, is I'm going to be able to Skype on here so you'll be able to see them. So here's the other thing that I want to try is that I'm going to give people the opportunity to Skype in, and it's going to have to be, I got to get to know some of you first. And I have gotten, over the past couple of years, there's a lot of people that are regulars on this show. But what I'm going to do is give you an opportunity to Skype in where people can see you. I think, Norma, this would be a great opportunity, maybe not tonight, but a great opportunity for you to be seen and actually tell everybody about the stuff that you have going on up there. And I think this is going to be another step in getting to know everybody that watches the show and giving your opinions out. Now, we don't have to do it that way. People that call in their faces don't have to be on here. But TV hasn't done this yet. They have had Skype calls, of course. They've had people that have called in on the phone. Newsmax does that a lot. But what we're going to try to do is have you up here. You're the experts in your field, so that's what we'll try to do. And So, let me see if Michael Jack is ready. Michael, you can give me a thumbs up or whatever you want to do there through text, and then I'll reach out to her. You can just reach out to me via the. Let me pull this. I got to pull up this Don Lemon video. This freaking guy. Talk about clueless. Holy cow. We'll pull that up here in just a second. Anyway, okay. While we're waiting on Michael Jack, let me just say this. Yes, I know it's only Wednesday, but I'm having a beer because I've had a long day. All right, there we go. Hold on one second, folks. You there, buddy?
I'm here.
All right, hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't see you.
Yeah, well, I haven't figured out how this thing works yet.
Are you on?
But I'm working on it.
You're on your phone.
Huh?
You're on your phone. Is that
yeah,
correct?
I'm on my phone. Laptop didn't work.
Okay. If you have a little camera icon down there, click that camera icon.
There. I see me.
Let's see here. I don't know what this is, but
That's me. No.
no, I don't see you. Let's see here.
Oh, okay. All right.
My video's turned off. That's because I got this. Hold on a second here. Stand by 1 second.
This is the first time I've done it with my
Well,
phone.
this is the first time so you can probably see me now. Is that correct?
I do.
Okay.
I see you.
So you see me, but I don't see you. So I'm going to call you back. Let me call you back, and then you answer with the video thing. So let me try that real quick.
Okay, you got the right number?
Yeah. I'll call you back on this one. Stand by.
Okay.
I hung up on him. Okay, hold on. Michael Jack. And we are going to video call. No, I don't want to record. I want to call. Let's see here. Doot. Stand by, folks. It says you're offline. That may be part of it. Okay, here we go. This is very intense, folks. We are on groundbreaking technology here. All right, hold on. It's ringing. And I still don't see you.
I see you, but what happened was you ended up calling in on, I think you called in on the wrong one. You called in on my laptop. I can see you, but I can't.
On the laptop?
Yeah.
Do you have a video camera? Is it covered?
It's not working. That's why I tried to tell you earlier.
Oh,
so I was calling
okay.
my phone, which is a different thing.
All right, we'll try this one more time, then we'll just do the audio. So call in. I'm going to hang up. You call me back on the cell phone.
All right.
All right, and make sure you hit the camera icon.
Okay.
All right, hold on, folks. This is where we are breaking ground here on new technology to where I'm going to have you guys up on this screen here. Nobody else is doing this. I don't know. Maybe QVC did it before. I don't know. If you're watching on Twitter and on Facebook, man, we got great numbers tonight. Make sure that you share this show. And don't go anywhere because we got some good guests tonight. But also, I want to talk to you guys about funding this show, as I always do. But I've come up with something I think I want to push out here. All right, here we go. Let's see. No, I still don't see you. All right.
I see you.
Well, you see, that's great. Well, I'm here. But they see me already.
I can see me on here, but I guess you can't see me.
Huh.
So.
Something about the camera icon. I don't know. And you've clicked that camera icon, the little blue, looks like a camera on the screen.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh well. Well, we'll figure this out some other time.
Okay, so tell me about how it was with meeting President Trump.
It happened today. It was this morning. It wasn't yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, he
and that was in Reno.
Yeah, it was up in Reno. He arrived this morning about 9:30 or so.
Right.
10 o'clock. And I got to tell you, first of all, if you've never stood at an airport close to the runway, like here in Reno, he landed. The Air National Guard base is right next to the terminal. That's where the airplane pulled in. But when that airplane landed, when Air Force One landed and went by us with all four engines in full thrust reverser to get it stopped before it ended up on McCarran Boulevard south of the airport, it was an awesome sight. I mean, I was like, I could feel the power. I mean, you talk about a projection of power. That airplane does it.
Yeah.
Symbolically, it was just awesome. Hi, Rico.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then it taxied in, and we were, probably 30 yards from the airplane, and it taxied in. And there would have been about 60 of us that were invited to greet him when he got there and got off the plane. and there was some news media there. And they rolled up the ladder and everything, and the doors opened, and he came out with Ben Carson, and the two of them walked down the stairs, and like the cheers went up.
Yeah,
it was everybody was happy that he was here.
Ben Carson's he's a rock star, I think, that guy.
Oh yeah, I agree. And he actually he came down the stairs. They both came down the stairs. They were met by the governor and the current attorney general who's running for governor, because this governor is term limited out at the end of his term next year.
God bless you guys for that.
Yeah. And some other political types, and they talked and shook hands with pictures and all that right at the base of the airplane, and the limousine and everything was right out there by the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And they walked around the limousine and walked directly over to us. And he had a big smile on his face. He was happy to be there. He was happy to see the people. He just, it was just, you could tell his spirit was just really, really one of, a pleasure to be there and be around the folks.
Right, right.
And he walked up to the line, and the first thing he did is there was a lady standing there with her 2-year-old daughter, and he walked up, talked to the lady, the mother, and she handed him the little girl, and he gave her a kiss on the cheek, and the little girl immediately started to cry.
Liberals.
She wanted her mommy back, right?
She needs to be scanned, see if she's Antifa.
Yeah.
They love to cry.
So, he talked to them for a second, and then he just worked his way down the line. And he shook hands. He spoke to people. We had probably half the people, or at least a third of the people, were military in uniform. There was retired military guys there there was one guy I talked to who was actually turned out to be a father of a friend of mine.
Wow.
Who was a Navy commander, but he was a doctor, and he had gone right into the Marine Corps and done his whole career as, working with the Marines. And he was there in his dress whites.
Wow.
And he, it was great. There was an Army officer there in his dress uniform. There was 2 or 3 others. And then there was a lot of the pilots from the Air Guard were there and their families. He spent special attention to the guys in the military, shook their hands, talked to them, said, thank you very much for your service and what you do for this nation, that kind of stuff. And then, the rest of the crowd, a lot of them were, other political folks, assemblymen and women and,
right.
Senators, that sort of thing. Talked to them, signed probably 24 hats and signs and stuff, autograph things. It just took his time and made sure he could talk to and as many people as possible. And he treated everybody like they were old friends. There was no air. It's not like Obama, where there was just this air of superiority around him all the time.
Right.
Where he was kind of looking down his nose at you. No, this guy was like, your best drinking buddy, from the bar.
Did you ever get to be around Obama? I was around Obama once.
A couple times, yeah. He was out here a couple times, and I was not around him much, but I saw how he acted. And Biden, one time when they came out here, he and Biden both didn't even approach the crowd. They got off the airplane, got in the limousine, and left.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was just a whole different attitude, a whole different.
Well, he does need to be very careful. There's a lot of these weirdos out there. I mean, look, they've already tried to assassinate a congressman. They tried to assassinate a judge. There's all kinds of stuff going on with they've killed cops. So he needs to be very careful with that. But you guys didn't see any signs of protests at all, I guess, right?
Not where we were, because it was controlled. We were on a military base. It was on the tarmac of that base. There was Secret Service and police and military police everywhere. Mm-hmm. And we were all on a guest list. We had to be checked off. We went through the magnetometer and all that thing. We were held in a waiting room until the airplane was 20 miles out, and then they had us come down. And in Reno, you can see forever. Mm-hmm. The runway goes north and south. they were landing from the north to the south, and you could see that plane on final 20 miles out.
Wow.
And it was awesome. I'm a pilot. I've been flying since I was 16. I got about 3,000 hours of flight time. And that was the most exciting part to me, was watching that airplane come in. It was great.
Well, I'm no pilot, but I do have X-Plane 11 on my desktop, so, you know, for whatever that's worth.
Well, you don't have to worry about falling out of the sky.
That's right.
Your chair, maybe, but not the sky, right?
All right, buddy. What do you think about I'm going to talk about Don Lemon here in just a little bit, about how much of an idiot this guy is. In fact, why don't we just do this real quick before I hang up with you and go to Kitty Kelly here in just a minute. Let me pull this over here, show you how I'm going to do this. And then let's go ahead and listen to what Don Lemon had to say last night as that churns up here. Let's see here.
I'm just going to speak from the heart here. What we have witnessed was a total eclipse of the facts. Someone who came out on stage and lied directly to the American people and left things out that he said in an attempt to rewrite history, especially when it comes to Charlottesville. He's unhinged. It's embarrassing, and I don't mean for us, the media, because he went after us, but for the country. This is who we elected president of the United States, a man who is so petty that he has to go after people who he deems to be his enemy, like an imaginary friend of a 6-year-old. His speech was without thought. It was without
I've seen the video, but I'm not hearing the audio.
Okay.
It was devoid of wisdom. There was no gravitas. There was no sanity there. He was like a child blaming a sibling.
So you haven't
on
seen
something
this?
Else.
You have not seen this, Michael Jackson?
What, Lemonhead?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this up on the TV. Hold on one second here. Blip, 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 blip.
He did it. I didn't do it. He certainly opened up the race wound from Charlottesville. A man clearly wounded by the rational people who are abandoning him in droves, meaning those business people and the people in Washington now who are questioning his fitness.
I'll tell you what, Michael Jack, turn your just cover your microphone and turn up your if you're watching it, turn up your volume. You'll be able to hear what he's saying on the video. Okay. Yeah. Let me just back this up a little bit, because yeah, there you go. Just cover up your microphone or mute your phone.
I got it.
Okay.
And the people in Washington now who are questioning directly to the American people. Fitness.
I tell you what, Michael Jack, turn your just cover your microphone and turn up your if you're watching, turn up your volume. You'll be able to hear what he's saying on the video. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute your phone. The microphone on your phone.
Cover up your microphone or mute your phone. Oh, I got it. Who are directly to the American fitness. I tell you what, Michael Jack, turn your just cover your microphone and turn up your watching. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute your phone. Yeah, the microphone.
We're on a delay, folks. So hold on one second. So Michael, you're gonna have to mute your phone while you listen to this.
I tell you what, Michael Jack, turn your just cover your microphone and turn up your watching.
Hold on, folks.
You're gonna have to mute your phone. Yeah, the microphone. We're on a delay, folks. So hold on.
So Michael, you're gonna have to mute your phone while you listen to this. All right, I'm gonna have to have Michael Jack call me back to discuss this, but that was too much. I couldn't handle that anymore. Anyway, let's listen to Don Lemon here for a second. Again, folks, sorry about all the technical issues, but what we're doing, I'm experimenting today on this show for the first time, having this up. What I ultimately want to do is have people, when they're Skyping, on here. And so you can watch the video at the same time you're listening. All right, so here we go. What do I got mixed up here?
And left things out that he said in an attempt to rewrite history, especially when it comes to Charlottesville.
Don Lemon, CNN.
He's unhinged. It's embarrassing, and I don't mean for us, the media, because he went after us, but for the country. This is who we elected president of the United States? A man who is so petty that he has to go after people who he deems to be his enemy, like an imaginary friend.
Really, Don Lemon? Let me tell you something. Folks, if you're watching this show, make sure you retweet this, because I want this to get out. I want people to realize that this guy right here is a liar, okay? Also, he's very unprofessional. The first time I ever saw the guy was in the dressing room, the makeup room, not dressing room, the makeup room at CNN, and he's sitting there bragging about how he's been on air drunk before. Of course, he shows that every New Year's by saying ridiculous things about women's boobs and stuff on air that would get anybody else in trouble. But this guy has no experience to be judging anything about anything. He's just a personality. Look, he is who he is. He's on television, and these idiots ride the wave either of their minority status or because he's gay, or because on CNN it could be anything. You could have women's rights. You could have anything. People will ride the wave to get on television, or they're a millennial or something like that. The last wave that there is to ride is because you have experience. And I'm absolutely sick and tired of this. People should not buy into this. I don't see color when it comes to experts, especially on television. I don't see color. I don't see gender. I don't care about race. I don't care about what year you were born. What I care about, and what the American people should be caring about, is whether or not idiots like this have any right to be judging a man like this. Nothing. He's done nothing. He is nothing. Don Lemon is nothing but a mouthpiece for the Communist Party of CNN and people like Antifa, who he props up and tries to make it sound like they're some kind of weird freedom fighters, when in fact they're a communist entity, and this is a communist propaganda network, and he has never done anything but sit here and run his big freaking mouth. Meanwhile, this guy has started businesses, succeeded in business, failed in business, came back and succeeded again, managed to market himself, become a TV personality, ran a successful presidency with less of a budget than anybody else in modern history, and has just been burning it up as far as taking care of business in Washington, D.C., even with a reduced cabinet because of the communists and the ruling elite snobs up in Washington, D.C. Don Lemon, shut your freaking mouth. One of these days, mark my word on it, folks, somebody like this is going to say the wrong thing, and they are going to cause a large group of people to turn on them. It's not going to be me. I'm going to sit back and watch it. But this right here is dangerous. This is propaganda. This goes against everything. It's free speech, but at the same time, I don't believe it is free speech, and I'll tell you why. These people fall under the rules of the FCC, and I think the FCC needs to do a better job of policing people that are saying that they are news, because they are presenting themselves as a fact-based program, when in fact they are political communist liars. Free speech, you want to go out and yell whatever you want, do it. You want to go on the street corner when Trump walks by and call him a liar, do it. But when you belong to what they call themselves a news network, CNN, news network, right? When they call themselves a news network, and then they go and they put this nasty, ignorant idiot and the propaganda that spews out of that mouth right there, that should not be allowed. And the FCC should drop their license. They should not allow them to do this stuff. Otherwise, take off the news network. Same thing with Fox. Same thing with any of these other groups that decide they want to have propaganda on. If you want to do this, they should say after 7 o'clock at night, they're no longer a news network. They're a CON, opinion network. Anyway, let's finish listening to what this idiot has to say.
6-year-old. His speech was without thought.
Yeah.
It was without reason. It was devoid of facts. It was devoid of wisdom. There was no gravitas. There was no sanity there. He was like a child blaming a sibling on something else. He did it. I didn't do it. he certainly opened up the race wound from Charlottesville, a man clearly wounded by the rational people who are abandoning him in droves, meaning those business people.
Oh, yeah, they're just...
And the people in Washington.
Those people that are abandoning him in droves, those people are also liberals. They also belong to this. They think because they made some money because they developed an app on Candy Crush, or because if they developed something called Facebook, which we're on. Listen, I give Zuckerberg that. He created Facebook, although he kind of stole it from some people. But anyway, he created it. The guys created Twitter, YouTube, Google, whatever. They have their successes. Let's not take that away from them. But so did Bloomberg. Bloomberg, I thought, was a terrible mayor in New York City, especially compared to Rudy Giuliani. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how great of an app you can build. If you don't have the ability to lead and you don't have the experience in what's actually going on in the government before you get in the government, you're going to be either a puppet or a worthless narcissistic narcissistic person who sits in the office. But this guy right here, I hope he's watching this, because I would love nothing more to have a face-to-face with this guy. This is not news. This is this is complete opinion, and it's a complete uneducated, biased opinion. Somebody who has a communist mentality, and somebody who just outright does not know what they're talking about at all.
Who are questioning his fitness for office and whether he is stable. A man backed into a corner.
That's just stupid. I don't see President Trump backed into any corner whatsoever. None.
By circumstances beyond his control and beyond his understanding.
Oh, my Lord. I don't even want to say it. If anybody's deserving of a throat punch this week, it'd be this guy right here. And he should look like that right when he gets through with it.
That's the truth.
No, that is not the truth. You're a liar. Freaking weirdo.
You watch that speech as an American, you had to be thinking, what in the world is going on?
As an American, I'll tell you what I was doing. We were all watching this speech, and I didn't see anybody on here saying anything on 3 different things: YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I didn't see anybody saying that he was unfit, that he was saying anything that wasn't right, that he wasn't pointing out weirdos like Antifa. In fact, I don't think he went far enough. Oh, I'd like to freaking nail that dude right in the throat.
This is the person we elected as a president of the United States?
Well, we did. You didn't.
This petty, this small, the person who's supposed to pull the country together? Certainly didn't happen there.
Folks, let's get this off here. Hard to watch this stuff. Hard to watch it. Michael Jack, let me come back to you real quick. You can call me back, and I guess it doesn't really matter because we don't have the video chat. So let me call you, answer on whichever one you get it on, and then I'm going to go to Kitty Kelly next. Hold on, folks. Man.
Hello, Michael Jack. I'm only come back.
Okay, now you can turn it down.
You can call me back. And
hold on a second. I have to. There's about a 15-second delay between Facebook and the phone. I'm sitting here listening to you go through your rant, and all of a sudden you're on the phone. Hey, tell me something.
Yeah.
Why do you hold back on this guy? I mean, you're holding back. Tell me how you really feel.
You really want to know how I feel? Well, the last time I told somebody exactly how I feel, I ended up on a surveillance squad for a year out in Long Island. So I don't know if maybe that's probably not the best thing for me to go complete with it. But
yeah, I could see you would fit in real well out there surveilling those MS-13 guys. You know.
Oh, you know what's interesting about that? We were talking about MS-13 back. I remember when I was out there in Flushing back in 2006, and there was MS-13 writing popping up, and we were like, "This isn't good." They could have stopped it right then. But the powers that be, NYPD, I'm very fond of the detectives. I'm very fond of the officers, but I'm not fond of their brass at all. And their super chiefs, I think, are complete political failures. And MS-13 in New York City and across this country, the powers that be in federal law enforcement and a lot of these local departments and the politicians have completely failed the people. Completely.
Yep.
But anyway, what'd you think about old Don Lemon there?
Well, listening to him talk, it reminded me of an old TV show. You remember Star Trek, the second generation?
I thought you were going to say Mr. Ed, the talking horse.
You'd be looking at the wrong end of it, of Mr. Ed. You remember?
Exactly. You nailed it on that one. So go ahead.
Don't make me laugh while I'm trying to be serious here. You remember Star Trek, the second generation or whatever it was. You remember their arch enemy was the Borg?
Yes.
And there was collective. All their minds were tied together into this one big collective. Well, that's what progressivism is. It's like the Borg. They want everybody to be part of the collective.
Right.
And what Donald Trump and a lot of us, the rest of us we're individuals. We're the folks that aren't part of the Borg. And
right.
He sounded like a spokesman for the Borg. Donald Trump is not in line with what we believe he should be. Therefore, he is in all the negatives that he threw out there. Well, you know what? The rest of us like the way he is. I like him calling out CNN. I like him calling out people like McCain and Flake and some of those other people in Washington are absolutely worthless. Donald Trump's approval rating is higher than Congress. There isn't anybody in Congress that should be saying anything bad about him.
What's crazy about this is that when they call him out as an idiot and they say all these things, it just makes them look themselves like idiots.
Yeah.
To anybody who has a brain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, listen, I got to go to Kitty Kelly because she's got a limited amount of time. And
all right.
But thanks, man, and we'll get it figured out. So we'll get your mug up on here next time.
Oh, wonderful!
I do have your picture up now on here. So, but yeah, that way we'll actually have a conversation. Fine. I won't flip you like I did Don Lemon though.
All right.
All right, buddy.
See you later.
God bless.
Bye.
All right. So there you go, folks. That was Michael Jack, as you see on the screen there, former FBI special agent, GS-15, way up there, way up high. That's big money up there in the bureau. So why don't we do this now? We're going to go to we're going to switch. We're going to go to the A block, and we're going to stop talking about. Well, we'll talk about these guys for a little bit, but let's talk about military readiness as well, and what the heck's going on with this military and our ships. And all this stuff's going on, so let's go to the A block, and I'll call up Kitty Kelly. All right, stand by. We're calling.
Military readiness as
well. Are you there?
What the heck's going on
yeah.
with this military?
Now, why am I not seeing you either on here?
All this stuff's going on, so let's go to the A block and I'll
I don't know. Let me see. Hold on.
All right.
Let me turn off.
Yeah, you're going to have to turn off the volume. I don't see Kitty Kelly, ladies and gentlemen.
I just did. Okay.
All right, stand by.
Can you see me?
Nope, cannot see you.
What the heck's going on?
Yeah.
You're going to have to turn that down, though.
You either on all this stuff's going on.
Wait, if you turn that down, you can't.
There.
If you turn that down, you can't hear me, right?
I did.
Okay,
I got you. Hold on. I got to flip it around. Turn it around.
We're going to get this figured out eventually. There you go. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to put your picture up on this TV.
Okay.
Nope, you got to flip it around. Oh, I had you there for a second. What happened?
You
there?
got me?
Nope, you disappeared. Flip the camera back around towards you.
I am. Hold on, I got to turn it on.
Okay, there. Okay, yeah, turn it on. There you go.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
ready? All right, hold on.
Yeah, I got
come
my
over here.
glasses on now.
Let's see.
It's
It's
been
pretty
on in a
dark.
while.
It's going to be dark,
Okay.
so.
I got a light.
No. Okay, well, let's see here. I think I can do this. Boom. Boom shakalaka. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me move my picture out of the way.
No. My hair is wet. Okay. I know. Now I'm self-conscious.
There she is. No, don't be self-conscious. Finally, you were our first. Michael Jack, we tried to get you to be the first. And what I'll do is, see, I can do this as well. I can go right here and add a name. For those that are watching, we are doing some groundbreaking stuff right now. I'm sure other people have done this, but we are the first to have real experts on here. Text, there it is. So let me write this. Boom. And write this.
Oh, I can't believe this.
What? It's Kelly, right? Or is it EY?
EY.
Okay, EY. And font. We are going to do that and bold. Boom. Where'd you go? Okay, I'm going to have to make that bigger.
I'm right here. Can that picture get any bigger, though, on your screen? I'm
What?
kidding.
There you go. Look at that. Right next to you. Kitty Kelly.
Gotcha.
Look at that.
Woohoo.
I don't know if you can see it, but we can see it on here.
I can see it.
See, there you go, folks. Right
Because
there.
I've got two things going.
You
so
get
I
two
can
things.
see.
Okay, so let's talk about military readiness, and let's talk about first off. I know you're not in the Navy. You were in the Army, 33 years. What do you think's going on with all these ships?
Well, actually, I was in Coronado up till this morning, and I was talking actually to quite a few Navy personnel, and they're very skeptical. They think it's such a coincidence that this is happening. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but they were even got me like, really? You think something's going on? So yeah, and these guys that I was talking to, special ops guys and such, and they just said it's too much. It's too coincidental.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think that I'm eager to see how this looks on here. It looks pretty good. What is bothering me about this is the fact that I think this happens more often than we know. It happens, and I think people will be very surprised by this. It happens. There are collisions at sea. I just think that when I look at the military and I look at the reality of who these of all the different social programs that we have going on in the military, I can't help but think that this has something to do with it.
Right, and here's the thing: if it was a mechanical issue,
yeah,
then those people who signed off on that maintenance, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree.
And I mean, they've already relieved Joseph Assange, the Vice Admiral.
Yeah.
So Admiral Scott Swift. Yeah. So, that guy's done now. Assange's done, put a fork in it for him.
Well,
just saying.
No, it's true. Now, let me ask you, man, I was going to ask you something else about, there's been a lot since the last time you've been on here.
Yeah.
There's been the transgender issue. There's been the first woman that was going to try to be a SEAL. She failed. She didn't make it.
Right.
There's been it's not all women's issues, but a lot of just readiness issues. What do you think? Go ahead.
Let me say this, Jonathan. The military is not where social experiments need to be practiced.
Right.
Okay. This is the problem. The military is a fighting force, and I got into it with a bunch of friends, and it bothers me, but I had to cut them off. But they're saying, oh, the transgender. I said, listen. From what I understand, and I'm not professional, I'm not a doctor, it takes between 1 and 4 years to transgender over, right? Transition.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone comes to the military, they get through basic and AIT, for example. That's our A school for you guys. So they get through school. They go to their first unit. So they've maybe been in 6 to 9 months, let's say. They go to their first unit. They say, you know what, I need to see the doctor. They go to the doctor. I want to transition. I feel like I'm a man, let's just say. Mm-hmm. So they go through all that. At the end of that, so let's say it's 4 years. Now their contract is up. They now get a honorable discharge with the DD-214 and the benefits that it brings, you know, and they've not done the job because they spent all this time doing medical. And then on top of that, the person, so say somebody has to fill in for that slot that they're not filling in because they're in medical all the time.
Right.
And I would say it's a bunch of people. They're saying it's 13,000 transgenders or 6,000. Let's just say 6,000 people want to transition.
Right.
6,000 military members are then not war ready.
Right.
That's ridiculous. You can't have that.
You can fight a battle with 6,000 people.
Absolutely.
One of those people could be integral to the battle.
Absolutely. And the guy that has to fill your slot, he's doing back-to-back tours because you're on medical because you feel like you need some boobs or something. I don't know. We're not a social experiment. We're a fighting force. And I'm tired of them making the military a social experiment for everybody. And you know what? I might get some flack for this, but unless you've been in my shoes, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you this. And you and I have talked about this. Women do not belong in special operations. Okay. They don't belong with men in the infantry unit. If you want women to be infantry, you need to have all-female infantry unit. If you want women to be special ops, you need to have all-female special ops unit. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, we're not built like men are. I'm going to be honest. I'm a beast. I'm still a beast at 52. I work out. I kill it. I ruck. I do everything. It's on my Facebook. You'll see it. But I'm still not a man. We're built different. I can't take what they take, day in and day out. That's number one. Number two, the brotherhood, the camaraderie. You can't put a female in with a bunch of men. Yeah. Okay. I don't care if she is a lesbian. I don't care if she's uglier than Hades. It doesn't work. There's a bond that these men have that has been built from the time that they were little and how boys interacted together and how they played sports together and how they bonded. Right. Because women don't bond like that. I don't care what anybody says. You don't see us women grabbing each other and doing this. We don't bond like that. Right. Okay. So it's just for me. And like I say, I was the first female in the Army to be an airborne infantry. I was with the 101st Pathfinders, the first female instructor at the Air Assault School. Let me tell you, I did not fit in. And not because I couldn't hang, because I did. And they didn't lower the standards for me. It was miserable. I did not belong, and I knew I didn't belong, and I didn't fit in. And they made it abundantly clear that I wasn't supposed to be there. So right. I got it. I got the news flash. But I'm just tired.
Even if they hadn't have made it abundantly clear, would you have still felt like that? Like this just isn't where I should be?
Well, you know what? I was very young, and I was very gung-ho, and I was very athletic. So I was able to do physically what they were doing. I don't think I could have kept on that path for a long time. And, then I had children. I got married. I had children. It just isn't conducive to being war ready all the time. Men aren't having children. They're war ready all the time. Yeah. And special ops, you have to be war ready all the time. It's just a fact.
I was there.
So, yep, it's just a fact. So, and let me just tell you, I think the military, and this is what's bothering me with the military at this point, is they are making themselves like society. Mm-hmm. So these kids come in and they get into basic training. They're pulling out their card. Oh my God, you hurt my feelings. They're crying. I can't do that. Whatever it is. So then they're babying in them now. They're getting them through. Right. And they're coddling them because, this is generation, they say, of, entitlement. Mm-hmm. Listen, if you can't fit in, if I hurt your feelings, then you don't belong here because you shouldn't have a feeling here. This is not personal. This is business. This is war. This is life.
Explain that in a little bit more detail for not the millennials, for the snowflakes, for the liberals, for the antifas. Not that they would care. Screw those people. Don't worry about them. But explain this to the people that are saying we should have transgender. Women should be able to serve in the SEALs. Because I've done it and I can talk about it until I'm blue in the face. Explain to them the reality of mission readiness and how it is impossible to be ready at a moment's notice if you're not ready a year, 2 years, 3 years before.
Absolutely. And, just as a female, now listen, there's absolutely, you can take pills so you don't have your woman's monthly or whatever, right? But then that could damage a woman. We don't know the long-term effects of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when, a woman takes pills so she is, quote, combat ready all the time, and then 10 years down the road, she can't have children. She's barren. She's this. So then.
But even if she was combat ready, the rest of the groups there, if you throw one cancer, I'm not calling women a cancer, but if you throw one person in the mix that is not like the other people, it's going to be a problem in the military.
And let me just say this, and I want to be very clear about this, because I get tired. This is what I get tired of hearing. I get tired of hearing when people say, "Oh, the first female, she quit, blah blah blah," before this. And listen, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 men quit before her. Also, there are men who can't make it through SEAL training. There are men who cannot make it through Ranger School. There are men.
I made it through both, by the way.
Congratulations.
I'm just kidding.
But. That was a good one, actually. But there are men who don't have it to be Rangers or SEALs or Special Forces. Okay, so when they go, "Oh, a woman quit," screw you, because I'd like to see you go out there and do it. Because you can't do it either. But they just don't belong, because it's a cohesive. It's
a Spartan life.
It is a Spartan life.
Listen, here's a good example.
There's Spartan women. There are Spartan women.
Sure.
But you know what?
Well,
they belong in an all-women Spartan unit.
Exactly. I'll put it to you. So I'm not going to try to be too over the top or grotesque with this, but in Ranger School, for instance, when we go through Ranger School, I just put it to you this way. First of all, you don't get bathroom breaks because of the nature of what we're doing. You are forced to squat over a can that is in the middle of the entire group, because you can't, in the field, you can't go out and go out into the woods and go to the bathroom. But even when you're in from the field, you go into the bathrooms and there's toilets all the way down one wall, and then about 3 feet in front of you there's urinals all the way down the wall. None of them have walls, so there's no stalls. And after you eat, and you haven't eaten in freaking days, and you're purging, everybody goes in there. You're sitting with your legs touching each other, with guys in front of you urinating while you're sitting on the toilet. And you expect to put women into that environment with men?
And you know what?
No way.
Wait. Let me just say this. I'm going to play devil advocate. Let's just say that a woman is okay with that and the men are okay. Let's just say they're okay with that.
Yeah.
What about their spouses? Is it fair to put females with men, and women who are married, men who are married, out, by themselves 200 miles from everybody else on a mission
for months?
Is that fair to the spouses, that they, it's already a hard enough life, and I'm not saying anything would happen. I'm just saying it's just not a good fit. It just is not.
How many people get pregnant in AIT alone?
Listen, let me just say, since they mixed it up a lot, and you know what, you go with the Navy on that. Let's just go with the Navy. The females out on the ship, they make special stops at certain checkpoints, and the women who are pregnant get off. They got to fly them back to stateside or wherever the closest base is. Let me tell you what, I'll tell you how to end that. First of all, it's crap, but I'll tell you how to end it. You put the woman who got pregnant, the sailor who got pregnant, the sailor who got her pregnant, throw their bottoms in the brig for about a year and start doing that to these people. I guarantee you that would end real quick. But, then that's getting soft. That's not doing what you should do, in the military, and that's where I'm going with this, is that we have no – it drives me crazy. You see these kids. Okay, so I was just happening to go to Coronado. I've been going to Coronado. I live in Coronado also. I split my time. But so – in the Navy now, if you're in PT gear, physical training gear, If you're by yourself or it's not organized, you don't have to have your shirt tucked in. The girls get to wear ponytails. Same with the Army now. They get to have ponytails. You can have the girls, you know, if you're African American, have dreads. You can have a wig on. You can, all these different things. Really? I thought the military is to be combat ready. Okay?
Yeah. There's a reason why everybody looks the same, by the way.
Exactly. I don't know why you need a wig. I don't know why you need a wig to go to work at. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you need long nails, okay, colored long nails to go to work in the military.
Wow.
And if you can't do it, I mean, and those seem like little things, but that's where the erosion started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got that. They can walk around with their phones and talk on their phones in uniform, walk straight down the road. In the Marine Corps, you can't do it. In the Army, you have to stop, you know, and you can't talk while you're walking on a cell phone. Navy, you can. You know, they can. They have ponytails. Their uniform. Here's the basic thing. Back in the day, I mean, I came in when you're wearing BDUs. Listen, your boots were polished. They were shine. Your uniform was, you know, strapped, just hard iron and starch. You know, these kids look like crap nowadays. You know.
Yeah. And
I just, that's where it has started. And if they can't follow those simple instructions, it builds up, and now you have the services that you do that you're basically the civilian count, your society right now.
Yeah.
You're just an entitled little crapper.
So I want to ask you real quick about before we move on, about not millennials, but the Antifa and all these people, the Don Lemons that are on. I don't know if you got to see that part.
Oh, I did.
What is from a female, senior enlisted female in the Army, what is your opinion about the direction that this country's going and these, as I call Don Lemon, weirdos that have no experience, and people are listening to them? You got these Antifa weirdos that are out there. They all seem like they're half psycho. What's your opinion on all this?
Well, they should be considered a terrorist group. And I don't understand how you can't wear a mask or a cover over your face when you're riding on a motorcycle in certain states,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they want to know who you are.
Right.
Right? How come these people can all have masks on and cover their identity?
Right.
If you don't have anything bad going on, if you have no bad intentions, right, then why are you wearing
hide your face?
Because you know what? It reminds me of the KKK. The reason they wore a mask is because they were a bad thing. They were hiding themselves because they were doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, they're just the opposite side of the KKK. They're bad too. It's just, I'm tired. And let me go back to my friends from high school. I had for some reason in my class, there was a lot of female lesbians in that class. And when they had the Pussy March thing going on, and I let it slide with them. I didn't say too much, and they were just all over Facebook, blah, blah, blah. But when this whole transgender thing came up, and I put my foot down, I said, listen, none of you that are talking about this has ever served a day. I know this for a fact. I said, until you put on a uniform and you go and get in the trenches, then I will value your opinion about this.
Right.
I don't care if someone wants to transition. It's not my business. You know, I've read a bunch of stuff on it. It supposedly is psychological more than anything. But so you have that issue too. Listen, you can't be you can't be a continuous medical problem, be in the military. You get medically discharged. You can't have psychological issues and be in the military. You can't you can't have those problems and be in the military.
Because you're medically dependent.
Exactly. And I'm tired of I'm tired of what's going on in this country. Listen, I've said this before on your show. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Mattis, everybody. Don't get all up in arms. But he is my president, and I will support him, and I will never say anything bad about him. And I definitely am going to follow, and try it. And sorry, I'm losing a thought here. I'm just going to be very supportive of him. Okay. Yeah. He is my president of my country. And how I'm seeing this is all these other places that want to do us harm. with all this bickering and infighting and, everybody against each other, this is exactly what our enemies want.
Okay, here's what we're going to do real quick before we go. I'm going to throw a word out, and you give me. I went through an interview once because I'm like you. I have the gift of gab, and I was going through an interview once with one of the federal agencies, and the lady said, "Okay, I'm going to ask you a question." And she was interviewing me. She said, "But this time, I want you to answer me in one paragraph." So I'm gonna throw out one word, and you just give me what comes off the top of your head about these people. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. General McMaster.
Awesome.
McMaster?
I think
the head of the NSA?
Yes. You know what?
Muslim supporter?
He's not a Muslim supporter.
He's a Muslim Brotherhood supporter.
I did not hear that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll skip him. Okay, we'll get that one next time. Go do your... He just gave Susan Rice her freaking... her clearance back. Go.
Oh, shit, I didn't see that. Sorry. Yeah. But I've been sick. I just had surgery. I've been laid up. I didn't see that.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Trump. President Trump.
Absolutely support everything he's doing, and I have his back. I've got his 6.
Feminism.
I absolutely do not believe in it.
Okay. Let's see. We've talked about a lot of this stuff. Antifa.
Criminals. Terrorists.
Black Lives Matter.
Terrorists. Criminals.
White supremacists.
Criminals. Terrorists.
Let's see what else. Let me see what else everybody else is. Mattis. Yeah, I was gonna say Mattis. See, I'm not keen on Mattis yet. He's got to prove himself to me.
Listen, that guy is my hero, and I tell you what, I'll tell you one of the reasons I'm really got Trump's back is he's letting these guys do their job. It's how I see it.
Okay, so I disagree on that because I don't think that they are fighting the wars, they're not going forward on these wars the same way that an E7 to E9 would be fighting it. I think that they're still fighting these wars with political mindsets, and that is why we've lost every war since World War II.
Well, here's the thing.
Does that make sense? That makes sense.
It does make sense what you're saying, but here's the thing also, and I look at this as a loss of life issue now. So when I was a little bit younger, give me a gun, I want to kill everybody I can. Even as a woman, I have a different mentality, but those guys are much more educated and smarter than I,
right?
And they see,
I don't know. I don't think they are.
They have a lot more information than I do at my fingertips. Obviously, I haven't seen anything like Masters, but they can see the end result of a lot of things.
Right.
So for me, Mattis, I'm pro Mattis all
the
way.
General Kelly.
I like Kelly. Look at the name. We must be related.
We're
not.
The View on TV.
I don't know how these bitches haven't been off 20 years ago. I don't know.
I just threw that one out.
I can't stand those women.
All right.
God, I haven't even watched it in 20 years. I can't stand them.
Yeah. All right.
So. All right. Well, thank you. I haven't been on for a while, so if I messed up, just cut me some slack.
All right. Well, I salute you.
Thank you. I salute you too.
You got to salute me
I'm
back.
glad you made it.
I'm holding the salute. I'm holding the salute. You got to salute me back.
You're gone. You're gone.
There you go. Okay.
You're gone. I can't even see you.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, here, hold on. Check this out.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Now can you see me? All right. Now I salute you.
Yeah. I can.
Okay. There you go.
There you go.
All right. All right, my friend. Love you, and we will talk to you again soon.
All right. Peace out. Bye, you guys.
There she is, Kitty Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. 33 years, military veteran, not shy on words, and with the gift of gab. And let's see. Anybody want to call in since we're up? Hold on a second here. Let me... how do I get out of this? I probably need to use the right mouse. And pull this over. There you go. Anybody else want to call in? Let me know. If you're on Skype and you're not afraid to be on, I'll do that. And then let's see here. Dave Robinson, where are you? Dave Robinson, we need you. Dave. Sorry, hold on.
Dave Robinson, this is Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and I'd sure love it if your little shaved head would call in with your beard. And if you could bring my computer over, I would love that too. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Oh, I got a new one now. Sorry.
I got a new one now. Hold on, here you go. I got too many mice. Okay, here you go. This is... this just came to me. Hold on, let's see here.
My name is Don Lemon, and I'm a little effeminate, but, you know, I don't know much, but I act like I do. And I'm also, let's see, what else can I say? I'm an idiot, and I have no experience, and I like to drink when I'm on television, because that's professional, right? All right, Don Lemon.
Don Lemon, this is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. You make me look smart, idiot.
Man, I love to make myself laugh. Okay, where's Dave Robinson at? He may not be on tonight. All right, I don't know. Okay. I was trying to get also on here Scott Eulinger, but he got called away. And but we'll have him back on. And he can't do it. Okay. So let's see. What else was I wanting to talk about tonight? Let me see here. What else was it? Michael Jack, are you calling me back for a reason? Because I'm going to answer it. Let's see here. All right. What do you have to say now? You're on again. Are you butt dialing me?
I just want to see if you can see me this time.
No, I still can't see you.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know what the deal is. Let's see here. Oh no, there you are. We got you now. All right, hold on.
I'm on my cell phone.
All right, you're on your cell phone. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth. Let me see. Let me get rid of this. Oh, that's what it is. I had the tape over. Okay, there you go.
What? You covered yourself up now.
Yeah, well, I bet that's because if I do that, I'll show you. My picture appears up there.
Nice T-shirt.
Yeah, well, that's my what's the word I'm looking for? That's my not my symbol. What do you call that? It's what I wear. I don't know. Look, it's the easiest thing. I wear this. I'll give you a little insight. It's funny you say this because you were supervisor. I wear this as a rebellion to one of my supervisors that I had in the bureau. Was my first supervisor. And I was on a street gang, basically, squad, where we were on the street every day amongst very rough individuals. And he didn't want me wearing a V-neck shirt because it said Fruit of the Loom on the back of it. So he made me take it off one day at work. So
I was afraid you were going to get attacked from behind.
I guess. I don't know. So I wear this just to, I don't know. It's comfortable, I guess.
You want to talk about wearing stuff. For a time, I was working undercover, and I actually had long hair, and a ponytail, and a full beard, and I was driving an 18-wheeler.
Wow.
Imagine. And I walk in the office, and people look at me like, oh, God.
Wow. That's interesting. Hey, listen, while you're here, and since we still got people on here, I'm going to use your video to test this. So let's see here. And we're going to go there. I'm going to turn the brightness up a little bit. Let's see here. Well, that's too bright. When I get a new camera, it's not going to be as bad. The camera will be able to focus on the same color as this thing. Okay. There you go. All right, that's it. We're losing numbers. We're already starting to crash. We're down to 100 now. So I'm going to close it up. And thanks for coming on earlier. Now I figured out what it is. I don't know why it wouldn't let me see you earlier, but
Well, earlier I was trying to use my laptop, and I have to fix that problem. But
Okay.
I figured out how to do it on my cell phone. That's why I called you back. I
Okay.
just wanted to see if it.
We're good to go. And this is Michael Jack. This is what the guy looks like. He doesn't. Yes, he's got a picture on here that I put up as well, right there.
I like the picture.
You see, that's the same. I'm going between the computer, and it's hard to tell where with this camera. I feel like a weather guy. You know, when they do the weather, and it's like, I don't know. Anyway, with a green screen, that's what I was thinking. All right, buddy.
There you go.
I will talk to you next week probably. I'm going to be, that's what I'm going to tell everybody right now. I'm going to be taking off for the rest of this week because I'm going to have a little bit of tooth work done.
Well, you probably need some time off anyway. You're looking a little rough around the edges there. So
Yeah.
I was glad to hear you were going to take some time off.
I'd like to stay and continue to do this, and I'll probably end up popping up on my phone, but yeah. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Out.
See you later.
There you go, folks. I got to figure out how to do this better. I'm wondering. Well, we'll figure that out later. So here's the deal. I'm going to call tonight before everybody goes off. And I want to talk about two things real quick before we go to the True Zone. For one, I got to have a root canal tomorrow, so pray for me. I'm not real fond on this. And one of my teeth back in the back, so I got to figure out where I'm going to do that. I as I said today, the dentist that I went to here in Manhattan, great guy, conservative, and it's great to meet people who have a real brain, in especially when they're sticking their hands in your mouth. I don't know if he's watching the show or not, but it's great. I think he's a great guy, and it was a great opportunity to meet other conservatives here. The other thing is that so I'm not going to do a show for the rest of this week. I'm probably going to take most of next week off. Maybe towards the end of the week I'll pop back up. But I'm going to be hosting the Sean Hannity radio show next Thursday. So I'll definitely be back here by then. And I'll probably come up and maybe do a show Wednesday night or Thursday. Don't forget about the show. Don't go away from the show. Continue to tell people about the show, especially if you're a regular viewer. And let's get this thing promoted. And I'll put some stuff out saying it's going to be back on air, and we'll get it all pumped up and everything. This is great. I know people are nervous to come on here and to take part in the show. But listen, folks, you don't have anything to be nervous about. The people that watch this show are like-minded, and you don't have to worry about people judging you. Have a nice little background. Don't be as fidgety as Kitty Kelly. And you can come on and talk about whatever you want to talk about. I think this is a great opportunity to do things that they're not doing in the regular media. And remember this, if there's breaking news somewhere and you watch this show, I can now Skype you in and you can put your video right here live. So remember that, folks. We are going places where other people just are not going. Maybe I need to get Dave Robinson out so he can do a man on the street interview, or Kitty Kelly or somebody like that. That would be actually pretty cool. Okay, the other thing is, I'm tired of this nonsense about going all over the place, bringing up the GoFundMe page over and over and over and over. Here's what we have to do, folks. There's, roughly 100 and something people right now watching this show. And I know a lot of you belong to the Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam. As soon as I hang up here, I'm going to do another quick live thing strictly for Facebook. I'm going to have probably Jim DeLong plug it in live, or I'll share it over on the Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam page. And I'm going to speak directly to the people from that page. If you don't belong to that page, go join it. But here's what I want to talk about real quick. Let's stop with this, me coming out and I'm not comfortable with begging for money. I'm not comfortable with it. It's not who I am. And it's difficult for me. At the same time, if I don't keep asking for it, we don't get the crumbs that we're getting from people. and eventually I'm just gonna. This is gonna stop because, again, I have rent I have to pay. I have the truck that I travel in needs new brakes. I got my money goes into this show, and then Rico's health care. My teeth now, evidently. So there's different things that my money has to go into as well as this. You all and your donations help augment a lot of that stuff so that I can come on here every single night and talk. One of the guys, somebody wrote me a couple of weeks or last week and said, it's easy to come on. It doesn't cost anything on Facebook to come on live. Well, that's true. But if you look at what we've built here and exactly, I know I did this last week. Let me pull it. Hold on one second. Stand by. I want you all to get the full take of this. All right, hold on. Stand by. Okay. All right, so here we go, folks. Now you're getting to see the whole thing. I did this last week, but a lot's changed since then. So I got my soundproofing up there. We got the new TV, and check this out. Now the entire studio is enclosed with these soundproof walls. See that? Very quiet in here. And of course I got, pictures of Rico and myself, my lapel pins. There's my degree. I had to put it somewhere. And right here over us, the Constitution of the United States of America right there. This, for those of you who have not seen this, is one of the houses that I grew up in as a kid. Of course, they had a roof then, but that's where I grew up in Arkansas. I got Michael Jack's picture still up here. Many, many years ago. And as you can see, the soundproofing goes all the way around. And we are completely enclosed. Yes, I built this weekend. This soundproofing material that goes from the bottom to the top was donated from a studio. I'm not going to go into it, but they were closing down. And we got the soundproofing out of the studio. Hold on a second here. So now I'm literally in a soundproof bubble. And if you can remember what this show, if you go back and you watch some of these shows from last week, you'll see that there's a bit difference in the sound. That's because it's much quieter. Plus, if you walk out of this room and you go down into my door, I remember I live in a small New York apartment. You can't hear me outside. We're literally enclosed in this little studio right here. All this was built from donations. It's built from donations of material, the equipment. Your money has helped to purchase the things I had to put this together with. The truck, for instance, when I travel with that, I gotta still think if I gotta bring some of these panels with me. I guess what I'm getting at here is that we need to just do one big donation drive so that I don't have to continue to do these speeches about money. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. So here's what I'm pledging. I'm going to come back at the end of the show, do a quick video, and we'll put it over there on the Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam. We'll pin it up on the top. I'm hosting the Sean Hannity radio show next Thursday. I believe it's on the 31st. I believe that's next Thursday. Let me make sure about that. That would be the 31st of this month. That is next Thursday, yes. I'll be hosting the Sean Hannity radio show next Thursday. What I would like to do is start the pledge drive right now. And up and through next Thursday, if you're a member of Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam, if you watch this show and you're not on Facebook and you're watching from Twitter, I want you all right there below me. You see it right there. GoFund.me/The Experts Roadshow. I want you to go and make a one-time donation of $50. $50 do it once, get it over with. The Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam page has almost 3,000 people. If we get everybody to go do this, and listen, I know $50 is a lot. Trust me, I know how much $50 is. I've literally spent tens of thousands of dollars on this quest that I'm on, driving all over the country, doing free speeches, getting people together in an effort to unify this country through this medium, and actually coming here every night because I care about you and trying to help get the truth out there when idiots like Don Lemon, you know, who can't be trusted, are out there filling the airways with nonsense. So here's what I'm going to ask. Starting tonight, I'd rather you do it as soon as possible so that next week when I come on, I can announce if it's a good, we get a lot of people. And that's why I'd like everybody to do it all at once, because I really want everybody to kind of get into this and realize you own this show. You are an owner of this show. You're a sponsor of this show. The show's about you. It's not just about me. I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to have the dialogue, to unify, to do the Constitutional Quick Reaction Force, and to bring the truth. So, starting tonight through next Wednesday actually, everybody go to the Friends of Jonathan T. Gilliam page and do a one-time donation of $50 or more. And if it's $50 and it just rings everything out that you're going to buy your kid something for $50 this week, either donate it, and when all the money comes in, if you're hurting, look, it's not like I'm going to take this money and just spend it on myself. If everybody overwhelmingly donates to this show and you have a problem, write me. If we have the resources, right now we don't, but if we get a excess of cash in the GoFundMe page and somebody's having an issue and you're a regular viewer of this show, why wouldn't I help you out? You're part of this family. This isn't about me getting rich. It's about me being able to continue doing this. So go to the GoFundMe page right there, gofund.me/The Experts Roadshow, right there. And let's get this thing going. And on that note, that's what we're going to talk about real quick in the Truth Zone. Let's do it. I need to put something up here when I go into the Truth Zone. Let me think real quick. Hold on. I don't have anything. Let's just do this. Hit the wrong button with my hand. All right. This song gets me fired up. Unfortunately, when I close this in here, it gets a little warm. It's starting to get warm in here. But we got our studio. How many people do you know have a studio in their home besides Rick Unger? He can afford it. He's a millionaire. Listen, folks, I know I go and talk about this GoFundMe page a lot and raising the money. That's part of the job, I guess, comes with it. I've never been a fundraiser, but I don't feel so bad about trying to get you all to do what is going to be best for the team and best for this country. So there's two things I want to bring up real quick. One, what I'm doing here, I set out to do this on my own. Things are possible, folks. Don't let people tell you that your dreams are not possible. In fact, when somebody tells you it's not possible, that's just this person with a small mind that doesn't understand the reality of what the human experience is all about and what a human being is capable of doing. There's nothing that you can't do. Nothing that one human being has ever done can't be replicated by another human being. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do something that's unique. You yourself are unique. You're uniquely created. The God of the universe, the creator of all things, created you and knows you personally and created you in his image. You don't have to look towards human beings for advice on what you are capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. I built a studio in my apartment. I'm talking to thousands of people a week for two reasons. One, because I saw a need and I'm fulfilling that need. And for two, the second reason, because you all show up every night and take part in this. That's the American dream. That's freedom. Government's not stopping us from speaking out on the truth. The news industry's not stopping us. The only thing that's really stopping us is the censorship that's going on in these social media markets. But that is going to come to an end one day. We're going to figure out the next step. But if we're not out there walking, how can we ever figure out the next step? That's what we're doing. Here's the second thing I want to say. You know, this tooth thing, it's something that you can't do anything about. You break a tooth, you pop a filling, whatever happens, it's something you got to deal with. I don't like the dentistry and insurance and all that stuff. It's freaking hard. But here's something that you can do, folks. If you're a smoker, tonight should be the last time you ever smoke. You can do it. I believe in you. The God of all the universe created you individually in his own image. Your body is your temple. It's his temple. People care about you. I care about you. If you're a smoker, tonight, make it your last. I don't even like saying the word of what that is. Don't smoke again. Be ashamed of it because you're better than that. Take your health seriously. If you're in pain, get out there and start moving. If you're hurting, get up and start moving. If you're depressed about this country, get up and start moving. If you're worried about things that are going on, get up and start moving. I'm Jonathan Gillum. Rico's down there asleep. This is The Experts. As always, the truth has arrived. I'll see you next week on The Experts.